Hi everybody, my name's Hillary and welcome to Positive Energy with Crystals. Today I'm talking about another way I work with my crystals. I've already done one video like this where I talked about my jewelry and how I use my jewelry. This is bowls in a box. Um, the way I started working with bowls is um, I was kind of started trying to do crystal grids. And I found that to be stressful. You see the pictures of how it's all pretty and you've got several crystals lined up and everything. It was too stressful for me. I bought several pieces of tiger's eye to add to them, which are cheap, but you get into stuff like this ruby and fuchsite. This is not. This is one of. It's not terribly expensive, but it's more than you know a tiger's eye that you can get for pretty cheap, or even bloodstone's a cheaper one. But something like, let's see, um, well, goldstone. Well, no, gold. The, uh, well, fluorite. Some of the fluorites are a little more expensive. But anyway, that's not the point. I just, it was too stressful. I couldn't get him to look the way I wanted, and it wasn't working. So I came up with using bowls in a box. Um, I I like that you can move them. You know, like I've said in other videos, we're living in our camper right now, and this right now that I'm using right here is our kitchen counter. It's also where we kind of work on um, some other candle work. Um, I set up my essential oils. Um, it's food prep area. It's sometimes it's an office. It's whatever we need it to be. And so I can't set up a crystal grid here and leave it. Because we need it at mealtime or just when we need another flat surface. But with the bowls, I can set up my crystals and I can, move them out of the way or um, just scoot them off to the side or whatever. It is less stressful for me and I enjoy it more. I might try to work with crystal grids again, but I don't know. We'll see. Um, you can still pretty much, like these are sigil cards that I've added. You, I don't know. I don't think I added. At one point, there were some sigils in there that I drew. You can add herbs. You can add whatever to these, and and they work great. And you can kind of arrange them so that they're in a pretty design, or you can just throw them in. It's it's less stressful to me, and I like just being able to come up and not be, well, for one, not be worried about bumping one and it, throwing everything off. I can dig through, and if there's just, you know dig down here to the bumblebee jasper, and if I just want to hold the bumblebee jasper for a little bit, I can do that, and I don't feel like I'm messing up the entire thing that it's working on. So these are some. Now I have more, um, but they're packed away. So, um, but I kept out when we were packing everything. I kept out some basic ones. Like this one is a ceramic bowl. Let me see if I can. And I actually turn it a little bit, see if you can see. I made this when I was in college. So this bowl is personal to me too because I made it. I threw it on the wheel, I glazed it, I fired it. I made this bowl. So plus it's made out of a natural substance, clay. And I I like having them in these ceramic bowls. It's one of my favorites. I've got a few smaller ones. Um, that I use. You can also, with this big one, if I wanted to, I could add a candle. If it wasn't for the peacock bar right in the middle, I could add a candle to this. This bowl, with it being wide open like this, I can tuck sigils in here. Or when we were selling our house, I'll talk about the crystals I used for that later. Down in the bottom, I drew some sigils of my own. I put them down in the bottom of this bowl, and then the crystals were on top of them. And then I had a candle that we used off to the side. But if you wanted to, you could put a candle here in the middle, sprinkle some herbs around and everything, and just kind of customize it how you want it. But this bowl, I think this is the bowl I use the most because it's got this wide, it's more open, and not just because I can fit a bunch more in here. That's nice too, but it's more open, and I feel like the energy comes out, and I can see everything better, and it's just, this is my favorite, and I think this bowl always has something in it, whether it's just a few or the amount that's in here now. Now, I'm going to move these over here. This bowl, I've shown before, it's made from a coconut shell. All the fuzzy's been taken off, and I love this bowl. Once again, it's from a natural resource. When we were getting ready to move to Oklahoma, we came to visit, oops, sorry, bumped the light, and I found this in a store. They were selling these bowls, and they're awesome. We found the one that was flattest, but you can see it still spins a little bit, but my husband and I found the one with the flattest bottom we could, and it works too. And this one, even though it's not as wide open as the ceramic bowl, this one, it's kind of nice for little spaces. And when I'm doing videos a lot, you might see this bowl off to the side. I'll be working, on my little plate here, and as I'm finished talking about crystals, I'll put them in this bowl, and that kind of works out good. Let me see if I can get this box. This is my manifestation box. These are, I don't really call these my manifestation bowls, but they kind of do the same thing. This one, though, this one's just kind of different. You can, I guess, kind of hide stuff if you want it more of a secretive thing. Now, the purpose of these is a place to focus your intention. So if you want something like this, I'll show you what's in here now. There's this little ritual bag. It's got some herbs and coins. Our intention is written on this piece of paper. And I think there's some citrine in there. And then I've got some more crystals. You can see there's a dollar bill in there. We're doing some manifestation work for our business. So all that's in here, and then I can close it, and I can set it in an area. So it's not going to be a big deal to somebody else. It's kind of our private little manifestation tool that we know what's in here. We know what it's doing. Just seeing this box will remind us of our what we're trying to manifest, and it kind of does the same job as these bowls, but more in a disguised area or way. I had one of these sitting on my desk at work, and I had another one. Well, it was different. It was just a cardboard box with a lid. But I could have it doing, manifestation work, and it wasn't a big deal to if my coworker saw it, or I can't remember where my other one was sitting now. Totally went blank. Sorry. But anyway, the work one, it hid, so it it wasn't a big deal to somebody else. They weren't focusing their energy and their thoughts onto it. I know it's in my manifestation box, and I know what it reminds me what I'm working on. It reminds me what my goals are, and it's there to help me with that. which is the same as these bowls. They're doing the exact same thing, but they're more of an open area. More in your face, I guess. You know, when we come to work in the kitchen, we pretty much have to move these bowls out of the way every time to make a meal. So it's there to remind us what's going on. And this one I have set up in the living room of our camper, and it's kind of in an area where if it got knocked over, it'd be kind of a bigger deal to pick everything up. If it's in this, it if it gets knocked over, which we're usually pretty careful about it anyway, but if it does get knocked over, it everything's contained as long as my little latch is latched. You can use all sorts of stuff. You know, here I've got clay, wood, coconut. You can use a basket. I had little baskets, but I think they're packed away. You can even use just a little. This is actually a coaster, but it's just my little plate. Abalone shell. I want an abalone shell. I've got abalone shell earrings, but I want the shell, and that's a good one to use. Jars and bottles. Here's my chips from when I was trying to do the crystal grids, and then I just put them in this glass bottle. And then there's also jars like this. You can use those. You can make a spell jar and do this exact same thing, just in a smaller jar form, and then you can seal it with candle wax if you want. What else? Oh, selenite. Here's a piece of selenite. I've got some bars too, but there are selenite bowls and plates. I want those too. And those are really good because the selenite charges your crystals too. So if you have them sitting in with the selenite, then you don't have to worry about charging them, especially if they're in a selenite bowl or on one of the plates. Oh, the air conditioner just kicked on. I thought I was going to finish before it came on. Sorry if you can hear that. What else? Let's see. I said baskets. Oh, you can make it how if you want to. You know, I made this bowl in my pottery classes in college. Crocheting. Doing a lot of crocheting right now, so you could crochet something to put them in. Or if you're a woodworker, that'd be really cool. Even if you work with metal, you could make something. Just whatever feels right for you, and put in it what feels right for you. I'm going to start a series. I'm going to call it Crystal Recipes. And actually, this is going to be the first one I talk about, is what's in this bowl. This bowl helped us with selling our house. So I'm going to go over what's in here, why I put it in there. So you can kind of get an idea of what to put in your bowl. If you have any questions, I know that I kind of was talking fast because I was trying to get done before the air conditioner kicked on. Put the questions in the comments. I'll answer them. If you've used something like this, share what you've used. I know there's lots of different ways people have used crystals. You know, not just the holding in your hand or wearing them on you. So let me know what your experience, what you use, or if you have any questions, and I'll see you next time.